Hey, a few months ago, I actually did a review which was a little out of my wheelhouse, something a little bit different. I reviewed an e-bike, and I'll put a link up here if you're interested in checking that out. But I had a surprisingly ton of fun with that e-bike. It got me out, got me seeing stuff that I hadn't seen in ever, and it was just a lot of fun. Since then, another company has reached out to me. This is a company called TurboAnt, and this is their X7 Pro e-scooter. It's an electric scooter. Same concept as the electric bike, but without the pedals. So it's also a lot more compact. Let's find out if this thing is worth a look. Right, so I'm actually going to do, I think, a couple of videos on this. So the first one, which we're doing right now, is basically more or less going to be a kind of an unboxing and first impressions, just to kind of get a feel for the product. And then a couple of weeks down the road, I will circle back after I've had a chance to actually use the thing fairly extensively and kind of give you what my my opinions are. So let's jump in and get this thing out of the box. I'm actually going to have to move it over there. All right, so looks like the first thing I got to do is take these zip ties off. Go ahead and do that. All right. It's got some kind of a safety here. It snaps up and then it slides over. Cool. And I would say the battery is probably contained in this neck here. Got a kickstand. All right, let's put the handlebars, or the handles, on. Looks like they just kind of screw in. Oh, okay, so the handles are reverse threaded. So you turn them the opposite way that you think. This probably goes on there. All right, so down on the, I guess the kick plate down there was a spare tire tube. So that's cool. They give you an extra one of these, just in case you ever need one. All right, the instruction card says, before use, make sure the battery is fully charged. The initial charge should take approximately 6 hours, and make sure the tires are properly inflated. So we want to inflate them to about 31.9 to 34.8 psi. All right, looks like to release the battery, I think you can charge it with the battery in place. The port is way down here on the bottom, but I think you can remove the battery and take the battery in and charge it if you needed to. So I think you just pull the button, thumb button back, and then slide this part up. And the whole battery comes out like this. And very rugged metal housing on this, I have to say. Here's the port on the bottom. You can plug that into the included AC adapter to charge this up. So I'm assuming you can charge this just like this. So I'm going to go see if that in fact is how it works. But looking at this, so 360 watt hours. And that's a pretty high capacity battery. I'd say this thing weighs about 10 pounds just by itself. So yeah, I'm very impressed with the build quality of this thing so far. The handles and everything feel like really good quality rubberized grips, solid metal aluminum housing. Even the foot deck on the bottom, which is out of view right now, has a really nice rubberized kind of pebbled texture. I'll give you a once over of that here in a little while. Let me go get this battery charged up. Pay no attention to what's going on over there. It's just another product test. Let's see. Here we go. There's the port on the bottom. So let's plug that in. Right, so I don't see any indicators on here regarding the state of charge. So maybe there's some on the scooter. If not, I think we may have to rely on the red on the AC adapter. So we'll let this go and we'll just see if this comes back as green at some point. And we'll find out. All right, got that connected. That's a little tricky because of that angle, but you can kind of lift it up. And I think I would recommend setting this just a little high, because you're going to lose a little bit of air as you take that connector off, since it's threaded in this case. Well, that was quick. All right, 35. That does not take long at all. We should be good to go. Now, I know this is just an unboxing and first impressions video, but why not get some first impressions of the first ride? So let's get this thing out and see how it rides. Right, to turn on the e-scooter from TurboAnt, you just press and hold the power button, and the display comes up. And it comes up however you last had it, in the mode that you last had it in. So if you can make out that little red D, that's sport mode, and that's the mode I had it in. So you can actually press this little mode button, and it'll kind of toggle through. So there's no dot there. If I press it again, then I get sort of a white D, and then back to sport mode with a red D. This gives me my state of charge, and I did just 2 or 3 miles on this thing just now. Didn't even dent the state of charge indicator at all. And then of course this shows your miles per hour. Now the other thing it has tail lights and a headlight, and it's a double tap on the mode button. In fact, let me see if I can show that to you. So there's the tail light, and there's the headlight. Anyway, that's all there is to it. If you have it in, I typically would have it in the kind of the middle mode, the standard mode, and it's fairly gentle on the pickup, and it picks up right away. You give it one little good kickoff, hit the throttle, and this thing will gently kind of just carry on. If you keep the throttle down, once it reaches cruising speed, it'll beep at you, then you can let the throttle off. And then until you engage the handbrake over here on the left, it'll keep you in cruise mode. So as soon as it feels enough resistance from the braking system, it'll pull you out of cruise, and it'll just slow down gradually unless you give it more throttle. Let's bump it up to sport mode and see what that does. Handled that little incline just fine. Keep in mind, I weigh 200 pounds. I'm a full 35 pounds heavier than what they typically measure the ratings and stuff on this. Now, of course, this thing is supporting up to 265 pounds. But I really like the fact that I don't have to keep my thumb on the throttle all the time. If I pull the handbrake, it kind of breaks the cruise control, and then I can re-engage with the throttle. And then it'll eventually beep at me when it gets up to speed, which means I'm in cruise control mode. There we go. Very cool. And you can brake with the heel and the hand and stop very quickly. So, wow, that is very easy to get used to. Yeah, when you have it in sport mode, it does take off a little more aggressively, which you would expect. Let's just see what the top speed is for somebody who weighs 200 pounds in this eco mode. Yeah, super slow. Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 miles an hour. Slight incline. Let's bump it up. This is sort of normal mode. And these 8-inch tires are doing a pretty good job with little bumps and stuff. All right, let's bump this back up to sport. Which will get me up to about 15 miles an hour. There we are. Cruise control, 15 miles an hour. It's even got a little bell. That's hilarious. This is super fun. Yeah, man, when you use the handbrake and the the rear brake down here, this guy, you can stop very quickly. In case you're wondering, this is a remnant of the old Erie Canal in Ohio. Kind of a cool, historic old landmark. Man, what a great day to get out. Even though we're day before Thanksgiving, it's an unseasonably mild 57 degrees Fahrenheit today. Sunny. Gosh, really nice to get out. Unless you've got some momentum, it's a little slow accelerating up these little inclines. I think it's rated for like a 15-degree incline. But also keep in mind, again, I'm 35 pounds heavier than what they typically test this thing at. So as I said, this was really just an unboxing and first impressions. I'm going to do a follow-up video on this in a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and after I've had a chance to put some more miles on it, kind of get a feel for what kind of range this thing has for somebody in my weight class, right around 200 pounds. Yeah, pretty impressed so far. So check it out. There'll be stuff in the description below, links if you want to go check it out in advance. But this might be a really good option for somebody who's going off to college and has a large college campus to navigate, or if you work in an urban area. This thing would have been great last week when I was in Chicago for zipping around all the tall buildings and all the cold weather up there, instead of hoofing it by foot, zipping around on a scooter. Just makes it really easy because you can fold it down and pretty much carry it in one hand. It's not light, but it's surely much more easy to manage than an e-bike is if you have to pick it up and take it inside to an apartment or to an office or to a classroom, for example. So don't have to worry about leaving it out where somebody might steal it. You can just carry it with you. I think this is a pretty good option and worth checking out. So anyway, that's about all I got for you. If you found any of this helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And I do hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have fun out there.